can turn into one of those like Family Guy stuff.
Seed round. Seed round. All right. 26 days until we pick Ella up in China. What are we talking about today?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But I do know that we have a guest speaker. Hey, not a speaker, film.
I can talk.
I can talk. Jesus.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I can talk.
But Jing's big head is gonna block him.
That's
right here.
Brendan McCarthy. Brendan McCarthy is at every single elite meet, big and small, making us look good.
What is Elite Meet?
Elite Meet is a nonprofit that I co-founded with a fine gent named John Allen. And Elite Meet helps transitioning SEALs, Green Berets, other special operations forces, as well as fighter pilots to get jobs, internships, guidance. And what we realized...
After they separate.
Yeah, exactly, after they separate.
Why do you think it's a need?
Because the gap between what employers know about the veteran skill set from these communities and also what the SOF and fighter pilot vets are able to communicate about their skills and experience, that's a pretty big gap. And so that's why we exist.
Give me an example.
For example, are you using my tactic? Do you believe this? Give me an example. It's so true. Sorry, I did this to you. An example is if you have a SEAL who has been operating for 12, 15 years or whatever that is, and they have worked in small groups. They have coordinated teams in dynamic, high-stress situations. And in addition to that, they've dealt with budgeting. They've dealt with communicating needs, and maybe people don't want their, can't get their needs met, but they got to find some way to do it. Like all this vast experience that the different people in the special operations and pilot communities have, we have to translate that and work with them to translate that and work with employers to translate those skills.
Okay, are you saying that they have a problem translating it?
I think everyone has an issue in translation.
So what do you?
Elite Meet is that bridge.
What do you mean by translating?
For example, in the military, here's what they did, and here are the specific skills, and how do we map that to the different jobs that are available, the different careers that are available.
Okay, so it's not just putting their language into plain English, but also how to help them understand, okay, this kind of skill set is actually going to be applicable in this kind of industry. It's that skill set,
and it's also what's actually a good fit for what they want.
Right.
So
understanding who they are and what they're good at and what is good fit for them.
And so one of the big takeaways of what we've been able to deliver to the Elite Meet community has been exposing transitioning veterans to the opportunities out there.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we just don't know what we don't know. So that's part of our job.
Okay. In what kind of method or what kind of ways do you help them transition?
Elite Meet does kind of three things I see. One are events. Mm-hmm. We do big events that are multi-day seminars.
Okay.
We do small events, which might be a networking night at our law firm Decker, for example. We bring in professionals in there. Mm-hmm. We bring in the veterans in there, and then we have a networking event. We also have the one-on-one attention that we give. And then the third thing is the community that we build. Mm-hmm. So for example, when someone says, I'm getting out in 3 months, I live in Hawaii, glad to join the Elite Meet community, then we can say, oh, by the way, you should talk to this Green Beret who has also been in for 15 plus years, and he's also in Hawaii. Like that type of community is really important.
Community building, and also
we had someone
alumni.
The alumni network. We have 250 members, and so when we even create like a real estate channel. Our real estate channel has 25 members, and people talk about their real estate investments. We have an exercise channel. We have all these different channels within the community. It's not just about jobs, and that's one of the
It's emotional
things.
support.
Oh my God, yes.
Is I guess intellectual communications, and how do they get jobs? They go to these events and then they get, for example, assistance, for example, from a professional. How to get their
It's more
LinkedIn
than it's
profile
the
done.
events, but it's also the follow-up after the event. Because the event is really about the exposure. It's not
Right.
Jack meet John, go off, do an interview.
Right.
It's really, the big events are, here's what's out there.
Okay.
And then over the following months is when we start to work with them to kind of find out what actually is a fit. One of the biggest wins that we've had recently was that one of our members got a interview with a top tier consulting firm, and we did, in preparation for that interview that he had coming up, we got him connected very quickly with 3 people, 2 of which were at that firm he was interviewing with, another one who was also a previous consultant. And it's like, okay, you have a case study prep and you need to get that done now.
And then
The first interview, he just kind of like
didn't
do too well,
Didn't know
but then the
what's
second
going
one he
on.
did better. And then the third one, like he actually was ready. And we just found out, yesterday that he's actually on to the second interview. So that's it. So it's working. High five. Yeah.
And then you have the professional communities to, for example, each person commits to one, right? Is that
Yeah.
something that you're doing?
Yeah.
What is what
I mean,
exactly?
commit to one is a very simple concept which came out really from a frustration last Veterans Day when we were just Veterans Day or Memorial Day? Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, yeah.
When we realized that we didn't have a clear ask from our professionals, and the ask
No clear action taking.
Yeah, and this is
direction.
part of just being a startup nonprofit as well. You're still figuring out systems and processes, everything.
Right.
But the ask is simple. Professionals, can you just commit to one veteran? It doesn't matter how things are going to be done. Just figure it out. You're smart. They're smart. Get together on a consistent basis and help them find a job, an
It's like a
internship, and get guidance.
Right.
It's building that community.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Would you say that the uniqueness of Elite Meet compared to other veteran programs is actually a community building?
I didn't understand it until the past 3 months, I think, in particular, when we've seen the power of the community. And that's been kind of a cool thing to see how supportive the network is.
Okay.
And it's not BS. Like, it is, I've just seen it in too many examples, how powerful the network is. When people need help, everyone rallies, which is really cool. I've been around other types of communities, and you don't necessarily have that dynamic. So if you are enjoying some of this content in our third video together with the hybrid family, click subscribe in the bottom. Put your, what is that? Is that
The subscribe here.
is that where you're going to put this subscribe here? Click this box that Jing is going to create for subscribe and follow the journey. Put your comments and your questions in the bottom and enjoy the ride with us.